Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big one. We finally have the final roster for GEKISHIN Squad revealed, and we may be getting some major announcements at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2026. I'm talking potentially an anime reveal or a very big video game. But before we get into all of that, I need to address a rumor going around. So DBS Hype, and we love DBS Hype around here. He is a pretty reliable news guy, but this is a little bit inaccurate, so we're going to issue a bit of a correction. He says Battle Hour 2026 description from DB official site. There will be a special stage showcasing the latest information on Dragon Ball, FIGHTERZ, and Super Card Game Masters. And it gets interesting with the eyes emoji. Now, a lot of people are taking this to mean, oh my goodness, we're getting FIGHTERZ 2. We're getting a FIGHTERZ DLC pack. And this is where things get a little bit fishy. So keep in mind, DBS Hype was taking this information from, you guessed it, the official English website. If we go to the actual English website, right here, it does indeed say, there will be a special stage showcasing the latest information on Dragon Ball FIGHTERZ, and Super Card Game Masters. So, pretty simply put, it does confirm we're getting new information about Dragon Ball FIGHTERZ. However, Enomis, who is a translator in the community and translates a lot of articles, very good guy. His handle is @Vinixis, so go ahead and follow him on Twitter. He says, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I checked the Japanese text, and there was an error in the section about FIGHTERZ. Maybe there will be some news about FIGHTERZ at the game stage events or on Dragon Ball's main stage. If anyone's better at Japanese than I am, please correct me if I'm wrong. And the official Japanese website does not say that FIGHTERZ will be getting news. It says there will be a wide range of content on display. Tournaments of Dragon Ball FIGHTERZ and the Super Card Game Master stuff. So, as you can see, there is no official word on FIGHTERZ, at least on the Japanese page. But again, it gets murky because on the English page is pretty simple. So Dragon Ball or DBS Hype went ahead and published this tweet. Now, do I fault him? Absolutely not. I could be wrong. The Japanese translation could be wrong. So it's up in the air right now. I'm leaning toward probably no, because the official website says yes, there is, but the Japanese version says no. And I lean more toward the Japanese origin, but again, they could be wrong. So I will keep you guys posted. It's a little bit confusing, but again, it's not impossible to get a FIGHTERZ 2, but as far as DLC goes, probably not getting DLC for FIGHTERZ. Alright, and like I said at the top of the video, we could be getting a big announcement. So in the previous video, I speculated on mainly a big video game announcement like Xenoverse 3, but that has now expanded into the world of anime. We could be getting an anime announcement now. Keep in mind that we did see a Dragon Ball Daima trailer at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2024. So Dragon Ball anime content is not off the table in terms of them advertising it at this event. It's not just for games. As they said here, on the official English version, there will be a special stage showcasing the latest information on Dragon Ball, period. And if you look here, this time, through the event, we will deliver content packed with the current state of Dragon Ball, not just video games, but the current state of Dragon Ball to people all over the world on an unprecedented scale and with unprecedented content. And then they have all these games here that they'll be, of course, promoting. FIGHTERZ probably not getting anything new, but like I said, we'll have to wait and see on that. But Sparking Zero probably getting DLC, Xenoverse 2, Dokkan Battle Legends, and GEKISHIN SQUADRA probably all getting new content. But they're saying the current state of Dragon Ball. If you look here, Antaro_DB did say, noticing it a year late, but Capsule Corporation Tokyo with IYOKU and 2 other employees are mentioned in Sparking Zero under supervision. Now, in case you guys are unaware, and I'm going to make this a bit brief because we have a lot to go over in this video, but there is a copyright battle behind the scenes, and it does appear that IYOKU is winning because he wants control over the anime and the video game rights, and it looks like he has it. So he was able to supervise Sparking Zero. And then if you look on the EU website for the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe, in collaboration with Capsule Corporation Tokyo, Shueisha Inc., Toei Animation, and Bandai Spirits Co., I think that's limited, are pleased to announce that Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2026, an event packed for Dragon Ball fans around the world, will be held in LA, California on the 18th and 19th of April 2026. Created with the ambition of sharing the latest news and announcements on the Dragon Ball universe. It also talks about games, but it says here the Dragon Ball universe. Now that's interesting. Now take a look here. In collaboration with Capsule Corporation Tokyo. And you know who runs Capsule Corporation Tokyo? Akio IYOKU. That's right, he was Akira Toriyama's right-hand man. He's basically the one who got Daima up and running. He was basically not just his right-hand man, he was the vessel through which Toriyama moved within professional life. Basically, he was representing Toriyama at all these board meetings within Shueisha and Toei and all this stuff. If they needed to get a hold of Toriyama, they went to IYOKU. So he spoke with the authority of Toriyama, and within like a year or so before Toriyama's death, IYOKU was deeply involved with this whole restructuring of the rights and getting Capsule Corporation off the ground. And there's a misunderstanding amongst the fan base. They're acting like IYOKU kind of did this in a slimy way to slight Toriyama. That's not true from what I'm understanding. Him and Toriyama are really good friends, and Toriyama supported this decision. And whenever people were asking Toriyama about it, Toriyama only made a comment like IYOKU came up with the name. Like he was trying to save himself from the embarrassment of the name, but not like distancing himself from it. So, and again, very interesting stuff. So this could mean we are getting something major, because keep in mind, IYOKU, again, based off this and based off this, IYOKU is winning what he wants. He wants the video games and the anime. And this says Dragon Ball Games content and announcements on the Dragon Ball universe. If you look here at this interview that Vinixis translated February 10th, 2025, which was earlier this year, the question was, what does the future hold for Dragon Ball? IYOKU said, producing anime and games takes time. So again, this is IYOKU talking about producing anime and games. He wants these rights, and as far as I can tell, he's got them right now. His name is on this. His name is Capsule Corporation Tokyo. Capsule Corporation Tokyo. This is IYOKU. He says, producing anime and games takes time, but we're steadily preparing for the future. We want to expand the franchise even further. Look at this language, even further. They want to it's packed with it's the current state of Dragon Ball to people all over the world on an unprecedented scale with unprecedented content. Very similar language. Even further, IYOKU stated, there's no doubt Dragon Ball will continue for decades to come. So a lot of people are disappointed that we're not getting any Dragon Ball Super manga content, at least from what we can tell for the immediate future. I do think there is some stuff coming up. Maybe not this year. I'm leaning more toward next year with some of the teases and stuff, but don't put too much stock into Dragon Ball Super manga returning anytime soon because of this copyright battle going on behind the scenes. However, it looks like the anime and video games are on the table. We already know it is because we got Dragon Ball Daima, and IYOKU did tease this right here, how they're talking about preparing for the future. So they're already working on the next project. Again, producing anime and games. Capsule Corporation Tokyo has their name on Sparking Zero. They were also involved with Daima. IYOKU was. He is producing anime and games. So, what this tells me is, with them saying in Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, they're talking about unprecedented scale, unprecedented content, information on Dragon Ball. Not just games, but Dragon Ball. And they're here to talk about the Dragon Ball universe. We could be getting an anime announcement. Now, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up and say this is for sure a done deal. We're getting an anime announcement. But look at the language. It's not just Dragon Ball games. It's the Dragon Ball brand. It's the Dragon Ball universe. This could be an anime announcement. And if it is an anime announcement, this is going to be major. This is something that we haven't seen in a long time. Again, they have already done anime announcements here with the 2024 event, so hype responsibly. Don't expect Fighters 2. Don't expect Fighters DLC. Well, you might be able to expect Fighters 2. Maybe not DLC for Fighters, but maybe a Fighters 2. Again, this was a bit of a mistranslation, but maybe they could do Fighters 2. Could we get an anime announcement? It is looking likely. Now, it's not looking like 50% likely. Maybe not even 25% likely. But it's more than 0%. Because they're talking about Dragon Ball in general. They're talking about the Dragon Ball universe here. So, hype responsibly. Expect the worst. Prepare for the best. You know how the saying goes. And don't feel too disappointed if this doesn't happen, but it's not impossible. It is not impossible. Like I said, it looks like the anime and games are not caught up in the copyright strife. So let's all just think about it for a minute, hype responsibly, go into this event, and just, again, don't be too disappointed if we don't get an anime, but it's not impossible. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA has revealed their latest characters, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. We knew that Gamma 1 was basically leaked early. We did not know Gamma 2 is part of Gamma 1, so let's just go ahead and get into this. As you guys know, we're going to be going over the full roster. This is Gamma 1, and then the final character is, spoiler, Kale. So we'll go over Gamma 1 and 2, and as you guys are aware, I like to let the little trailer play out, and then we'll go over the moveset together and react. So let's go ahead and get into this. Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA.
Number 2, we can do this.
Ready to rock! This world needs heroes!
I'll fulfill my orders. In the name of justice! Out of the way!
We are old-fashioned superheroes! Let's go, number 1!
Understood!
Yeah!
In tandem!
Gamma Impact! It's a wrap.
Quit lounging around.
Huh?
Real quick, I just want to say how brave it is that the characters they're choosing are not characters that most people would expect. Am I disappointed? No. I actually really like Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, and I do wish we got some more, I guess you could say, hype characters, like maybe a Super Saiyan Gohan or a Beast Gohan or something. But including these two just really shows me they're willing to experiment. Having a duo character at launch, very, very interesting. So they are a damage role. Concept, a superhero tag team with Gamma 1 specializing in large-scale brawls and Gamma 2 in small-scale skirmishes. Join forces with special pose and vanquish evil using combination attacks. That's interesting. So kind of AoE and single target. So Gamma Switch allows Gamma 1 and 2 to swap in battle. Each Gamma has their own health, rush attack, and movement speed. Very interesting. The two will swap when certain skills are used or when their base HP reaches 0. When on standby with 0 base HP, Gamma 1 or Gamma 2 can be revived by performing special pose or healing them at the spawn point. This sounds like an interesting character. This character might actually be my cup of tea. Rush attack, Gamma 1, a blast using a ray gun. The third consecutive attack will be powered up, and the Gamma on standby will follow up with a ray attack that deals additional damage. More damage is dealt while special pose is in effect. Yeah, this actually might be my cup of tea. And then Gamma 2 is just a physical attack. Basically the same effect, but with Gamma 1 on standby. Alright. Skill 1, Gamma Strike. As Gamma 2 dash forward and deliver a strike, the skill can be reactivated immediately after use. If a third hit lands, it explodes and deals additional damage. Cannot be activated when Gamma 2's base HP is 0. While under the effect of special pose, you gain additional HP upon activation when the strike hits. So even though you essentially get 2 health bars, you will be managing them in order to pull off the character attacks. Skill 2, Gamma Impact. As Gamma 1, deal a flying kick that causes a shockwave. Gains extra HP upon activation and when the shockwave hits. Creates an explosion after the shockwave and deals more damage at skill level 3, Super. Cannot be activated when Gamma 1's base HP is 0. More damage is dealt while special pose is in effect. So yeah, It's not like a get out of jail free card. You have 2 health bars and you're good to go. This is something you'll be managing. Gamma Blaster / Full Burst. Use a ray gun to fire scattered shots in a set direction. Can move or redirect while attacking. More damage is dealt while special pose is in effect. Okay, now I guess it looks like it doesn't matter which gamma you are. Super attack, special pose. Create a surrounding explosion that staggers enemies while striking a hero's pose. Heals health when activated and allows gamma 1 and 2 to work in tandem for a set period. Combines their HP stats into one and transforms their rush attacks and skills, super attacks excluded, into combination attacks. Can activate Core Breaker at skill level 3. Okay, very cool. I like these two. A Super Attack 2, Core Breaker. As Gamma 2 rush in for a last-ditch attack at a set position, can only be acted once per battle during a skill level 3 super special pose. Drains the health of Gamma 2 to 0 when activated and forces Gamma 1 to swap in. So yeah, this is a last-ditch effort attack. An obvious reference to the Cell Max fight. Very cool. So yeah, Gamma 1 and 2 have been revealed. What do you guys think? I think they look absolutely incredible. I'm excited to see them. And like I said, they also announced Kale. Now this is going to be Berserk Kale. Again, like I always say, let's go ahead and react basically together to the trailer and then react to the moveset. So let's just go ahead and jump in.
Shall I make you my first blood sacrifice?
I have to try harder! Don't move! At this rate, Caulifla will never accept me! I'll never be good enough! I'll only let her down!
You're dead! Game over!
What am I doing?
Right, so obviously the first thing that I saw whenever this character was announced was people online complaining that it wasn't Broly. Now, for me personally, I do think getting a version of Broly, whether it's Dragon Ball Z Broly or Super Broly, that would have been very hyped, and I did predict we would be getting Broly as a launch character. I did not expect it to be the Universe 6 Broly, but it's still a version of Broly because obviously Kale is basically just an alternate universe version of Broly that they made up. Now, with that being said, I'm not one of these people that's going to like defend every decision they make and think you have to eat it up regardless. So if you dislike this character, that's fine. But I do think there is potential for her to be pretty cool, and I do like Kale, and I do think this doesn't take Broly off the table, as you'll see in her moveset. So we'll cover that after the moveset. So roll of damage. Concept: a hero with 2 natures. Though normally supporting allies from the shadows, she will wreak havoc on the front lines when going berserk. Anyone who dares get close during a rampage should prepare for overwhelming destructive power. And this is why I think that this doesn't interrupt this does not take Broly off the table. See, it says passive. Boost damage dealt by skills activated at allies' hero position. So she's a bit supportive. I don't think Broly will have anything like this with this mechanic. I think Broly would just be a raging beast the whole thing. So yeah, courage for comrades, boost damage dealt by skills activated at any hero's position. So there you go. Rush attack. Fires an energy blast, deals more damage when activated near an ally, becomes a physical strike attack when transformed into Super Saiyan Berserk. The 3rd consecutive attack will be powered up and additional increased damage. Alright, well there you go. So if you are a Super Saiyan Berserk, instead of attacking from a distance, you're going to freak out. Again, it's weird that they included that detail, but they didn't show her as Berserk, but I guess you already saw it in the trailer. Skill 1, Blaster Shot. Fire a barrage of energy blasts that explode upon impact. Can move while attacking. Then Skill 2, Charge Force. Fire a long-range energy blast. Deals more damage to enemies who are further away. AoE range and damage dealt will increase the longer it is charged. Can move or direct while charging. Alright, very nice. Energy Sphere. Fire a slow-moving energy blast that gradually grows in size. If Charge Force hits the blast, it explodes in horizontal direction. If Blaster Shot hits the blast, it explodes in a dome shape and deals extra damage. Guys, you know what I just realized? They're going to, honestly, they'll keep adding characters. And whenever they finally do Broly, they're going to do Dragon Ball Super Broly. And they're going to reference whenever he transforms. And he's going to have an attack where he basically rises up and basically shoots energy blasts all around. That's going to be pretty cool. I just thought about that. Again, I guess I understand the outrage behind Kale, but I just don't think I have the time or energy to be outraged by that. I see the outrage, but it doesn't really bother me as much as it bothers other people. Super Attack, Evolution Break, here we go. Unleash volatile energy and generate a surrounding shockwave. Transform into Super Saiyan Berserk upon activation. Gain no attack, obstruction effect, and extra HP. Rush attacks will change, and you will not be able to use skills. Vanishing steps will change into a forward lunge with an attack that staggers enemies. And what about her skins? She's going to have some interesting skins. I'm excited to see what kind of skins they cook up for Kale. Right? I do like Kale. And then transformation, of course, is Berserk. Activate Evolution Break to transform. Effect is cancelled after a set period or after extra HP is used up. So it's nowhere near permanent. Pretty cool. Dang, I felt like that ended abruptly. I felt like we needed to see more from Super Saiyan Berserk Kale. But yeah, guys, what do you freaking think? That was Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA's final roster. What did you think about these last 5 characters they revealed? They revealed Android 17, Gamma 1 and 2, Sail, Hit, and Kale. So, did I say Sail twice? I think I meant Sail and Hit. So, I'm excited for the game. I'm interested by this roster. Again, I do think there are some obvious misses for the base roster. Like, we probably could have used a Golden Frieza or a Broly, and maybe even an OG Dragon Ball character like Kid Goku that transforms into a Great Ape, or maybe King Piccolo, something like that. And it seems like they focused most of their energy on Dragon Ball Z and Super, which makes sense. That's always been the cash cows for the franchise. And this is not the final roster. I mean, it's the final roster for the base launch. But again, this is an online game. It's a MOBA. They'll be adding characters. I don't know what their cadence will be with adding characters. I don't know if it'll be once a month or if it'll be once every 2 or 3 months. But they will be adding additional characters, I'm sure. So don't be too disappointed by Kale being in the game. It's not the worst thing that could have happened to this game. Anyways, guys, that will be it for me for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace off.